Hi there. We are exposed to a call all the time in our life. Sometimes the call is from our innate, something you're born with. Most of the time the call is coming from the acquired. It's a difference. The innate is eternal. The acquired is temporal. The call is coming from the subcortical region of the brain. It's like where the hypothalamus is. No, this is just a metaphor. It doesn't have a place. The innate is inside. You hear it. We are just prevented by our daily life, the habits, the culture, the nation, the regime on which we live under such a regime or a culture. All of these are calls preventing us from hearing the eternal voice or call. What does the call do to the person? The acquired is a position at work. Nobody is calling him, but the call is inside the person. From work, for instance. The position that the person is occupying or the post that he is occupying, he hears the voices coming to him all the time. From where? That's the question. The call is A-U. We say A-U, that means you attract the person's attention before you name him. A-U. For instance, with the black hair. A.U. with the green eyes, A.U. the doctor, A.U. So the position. The call is coming all the time to the person. What does it do to the person? The call, we are not specifying yet. Just giving an example. The audience, or from the source where the call is coming from, is centralizing the person, temporizing a person, and giving him a certain way in how he should behave. So we're speaking about situations when it comes to time, space, and manner regarding this call. Let's speak about, for instance, a person is a governor, is a country, like a governor of a country. He hears the call. Hey, you the governor. There are some ways it's not about the duty of conscience, in the way he should behave. There's a space, manner, time. One day he will leave that space. He will leave that position. It's like a uniform. He removes the uniform, takes off his uniform, is no longer. He won't hear the voice anymore. He was a president of a country. He's no longer a president. Nobody calls you president. So it's just a chair that you sat on, uniform that you wore, then you left it. So it's temporal. A sort of laser. It's a temporary one. It's centralizing you, punctualizing you, and giving you certain rigidity. Now, what was the first call in this world? Who called who? The creator who called human being. As a matter of fact, he called him before he was created. You say, how can he call him before he was created? It was just genes, loins in Adam's back. This is how it is said. You say, and remember, this is in the Azal. We say before the human being was in Adam's loins. And remember, when your Lord brought forth from the children of Adam, from their loins, and made them testify as to themselves, saying, Am I not your Lord, Rabbikum? They said, Yes, we testify, lest you should say on the day of the resurrection, verily, we have been unaware of this. That's very weird. How come they answer him? How come they heard that? They were not like in the existence, they were in a pre-existence. And how did he call them? What did he say about that? He said, وَإِذْ أَخَذَ رَبُّكَ مِنْ بَنِي آدَمَ مِنْ ظُهُورِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّتَهُمْ وَأَشْهَدَهُمْ عَلَى أَنفُسِهِمْ أَلَسْتُ بِرَبِّكُمْ قَالُوا بَلَى. He said, am I not? He said, am I not your Lord? They said, yes, Bala. Which name did God use? We know that God mentioned, the Prophet said about the 99 names. The word, this name, is not among the 99 names. There is the general name. It doesn't have any characteristic, which is Allah, the deity. He didn't use that. He said, Rabbikum. Rabb in Arabic, the translation is not correct. Has two definitions. One definition is owner. The second definition, which is the case here, is the fosterer, al-murabbi, cherisher, the fosterer. The fosterer is not a one-time snapshot, one-time period, one stage, one realm. Is the one that is taking you from one stage to another, exponentially and limitedly. You don't know the final destination. Now, this fostering process, does it depend on the subject or the object? It depends the giver, the fosterer, F capital, that's God. Al-Murabbi. He's giving all the time. Are you exposed to that? The one that is taking you from one stage to another to see the state of metamorphism in life. You as an object, are you ready for that? It depends on the object, it doesn't depend on the subject. Now, when we say the eternal, human being wants to be unlike a human being in general. He wants to be independent, self-sufficient. The self-sufficiency doesn't allow you to go through those stages. The name itself is giving you eternity and changes in life if you accept you have a predisposed nature. God never called the human being or gave him instruction to do or not to do or prohibition if the acceptance is not there already. In other words, is only to confirm the conformity. Al-Murabba, which is passive voice, the one who is expecting the fosterer, the fostered, is there already. Every cell in human being, every atom from his genes, DNA, is accepting that in his soul, is waiting for this call. It is just a human being, habit, culture, nationalism, habits, traditions. This are routine is preventing him from accepting these flow, this kind of flow or like process of navigation. As I said, now, what did he say? Bala. You know, Bala in Arabic is, of course, obviously, definitely. He didn't say, this is what they say. He said, and you're going to say the day of judgment, you will hear it the day of judgment, you will remember it the day of judgment, you're going to say, Inna kunna an hada laghafilin. We were unaware of this. Because life is very material, this terrestrial world, and you make an effort to really go back in a state of effacement, to go back and to hear this al-Murabbi, the fosterer. Picture that it's the same call that God directed it. to the children of Adam. This name doesn't have nationality. It doesn't have a cultural polarity, any sort of sectarianism or race, ethnic background, ethnicity, whatever. The children of Adam. It is the same name that God directed it to the Prophet Muhammad when he was the first verse. You know, the first verse was revealed to him. اقرأ باسم ربك. He used the word same name. Do you understand to اقرأ, you know, if you translate it like in a dictionary, is like to read, you know, read. But the read in this particular case, study, research, documentation. All of these in life has to do how much you know from the power of the Creator if you maintain the status of being the fostered. اقرأ باسم ربك, you know, in the name of the fosterer. Translation is not correct, by the way. It's the same. In our life, everything we get, we implement, we get engaged into, is just to be an independent and not to show our dependency on this particular name. And understand, because Al-Murabbi, the cherisher, is someone who is handling you with care, yet taking you from one stage to another. That's really the itmi'nan, we say the serenity, tranquility. It's a holy comfort. Those who have experienced this, they cannot even put it into words. Perhaps those who embraced and convert, it's not the word, convert to Islam, they feel it much better than those who were born Muslims like us. They feel something very, very like you, and you cannot put it into words. The reason why these people, when the Creator spoke about them, and even the Prophet, talking about those, they were born in a different religion, and then they converted to Islam. They will be rewarded for anything they do twice. It's not like those who were born Muslims. Anything they do, it's like times two. That's beautiful. Yes. So the call, this is the eternal call. It doesn't stop even after death. A person is seeking something, seeking to be exposed to this particular name, will be transferred all the time to something. It's a magnetic field of care, of love, cherishing, the fosterer. I hope I promised to myself, I said, don't go far. Anyway, thank you very much for your attention. We are in a very holy month, which is the month of Ramadan. May the Lord open every door of prosperity to you and make your nights as shiny as your days. And I talk to you soon.